What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm trying something new. I want to review the first 3 Captain America movies and kind of give my thoughts on those in lieu of the new movie Captain America Brave New World dropping next year. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Captain America the First Avenger, we have ourselves a great movie. I think that this definitely solidified Chris Evans as that leading role, that co-star role alongside Robert Downey Jr. Coming off of Robert Downey Jr. starring the whole MCU franchise of Iron Man 1 and subsequently Iron Man 2, it was proven that he would kind of be the main piece that everyone else would be built around. In fact, it's even said that RDJ had hands in casting Chris Evans as Captain America. But I think that Captain America First Avenger movie did something very cool. It was sort of an old-timey fashion and brought us back to really get us into the roots of Captain America's story. I mean, that's the only right way that they could have done it. The action was pretty good. I think that the way that Chris Evans was so eloquently able to act his role, I mean, personally, I am a big fan of him. I think he's an excellent actor and he can just do what he just does his thing every single movies that he is in. But Captain America First Avenger really helped to lay the groundwork that everything else was built on top of. I think that Red Skull was a great adversary for him. I think it's also awesome they were able to loop him back to come into Avengers Infinity War and Endgame with kind of a full circle moment there. And I love how from this movie, Chris Evans / Captain America is labeled as the soldier out of time and how he has to virtuously sacrifice himself. I think that's something that people don't realize. At the beginning, Captain America is the one who laid down his life on the line, where he cut the wires, everyone else could crawl over him the moment he brings up in the first Avengers movie of Tony Stark and kind of messes with him like, you wouldn't do that, you wouldn't make the sacrifice play. I think that's even crazier that when we come full circle to Endgame and we see Tony Stark really go through this monumental journey. And so I think it's just appreciating the dynamic between Iron Man and Captain America. I will get into this later about Civil War, but you know how they're butting heads, but at the end of the day, they really got each other's back and they're there for them. So I would say that's my little synopsis / review of the first Captain America movie. Personally, I thought it was really well done and I was excited to see the Winter Soldier. So without further ado, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Honestly, a movie that I did not really vibe with at first, but after a couple rewatches, I realized why it is one of the best MCU movies to this day. And that's because the action and the storytelling is peak. It's very much so Marvel at their best. From the secret syndicate thing with the Hydra agents within S.H.I.E.L.D. to kind of S.H.I.E.L.D. just completely disintegrating. And I think Alexander Pierce is his name, getting, being kind of one of the masterminds at the end of the day. And Nick Fury having to go to his spy gear to find that out. And it's just great. And I love that they included Nick Fury. I think Samuel Jackson is an incredible actor. Unfortunately, Secret Invasion was, and so was the Marvels, but I think that this movie, he really showed that he has excellent chemistry with Chris Evans, and that's why they brought it. I'm also very happy that they incorporated Black Widow into this movie. I feel like she kind of has that roaming nomadic nature where yes, she did have her own movie, but at that time it did not look like it. So we first see her in Iron Man 2, kind of being the secret Russian spy, don't really know what she's going on. But then this movie, we know more about her, and it's kind of cool to see her and Chris Evans' dynamic and how they bounce things off of each other and work together. Bucky, the Winter Soldier, was a great enemy, great villain, believable, ruthless killer. I mean, literally, when he shot the maid in the face, whew, that was tough. But I think that it definitely elevated the MCU to another level and kind of showed a different light of it. I mean, we're used to more of the lighter, a little bit, more jokey side. And while this movie did have jokes, yes, it also was serious. It was about, Captain America dealing with the traumatic experience of seeing his closest friend, the person that literally backed him up and got him to join the military in the first place, being turned onto the other side and having to fight him. And then Captain America having to say, I'm not gonna fight you at the end. He drops the shield. He's like, this is me and you, Buck. Let's do this. And it works out because Bucky does end up saving him in the end, which is beautiful. I think that was a great ending. I remember like, what? He saved him? He's gonna let him walk? Yeah, this is definitely an A+ movie. Very, very high tier. On to the next. Captain America Civil War. Now, first off, I will say, I know some people like to say this is more so Avengers 3, but I think that this is rightly so Captain America's story because it is focused on, he's the main character. I mean, although it is Robert Downey Jr.'s Team Cap versus Team Iron Man, but it is mainly Captain America's narrative and how he has to kind of find his own, I mean, after just fighting his best friend and recently befriending him, now he has to prove his best friend's innocence. And you know, I mean, I think that it just, at the end of the day, it's like Tony is kind of fighting for the world and Captain America's fighting for his family. And I think that that distinction makes for a really great dynamic between both teams. There was, I mean, I think this was probably one of the Marvel movies with the best publicity at the time, just because it was like Team Iron Man, Team Cap, Team Iron Man, Team Cap. Which one are you? Which one are you? Don't get me wrong, I was definitely Team Iron Man. I'm RDJ fan till I die, and I have Black Panther, so of course I'm gonna be on their team. But I mean, this movie just did it, introducing new superheroes, from Falcon really playing a bigger part, Wanda Maximoff also stepping in a little bit more, and then of course, as I just said, Black Panther being introduced and letting him get his own movie and whole subsequent universe and subsequent world, I would say, realm of the world, with us being exposed to Wakanda in the first Black Panther movie. But honestly, this movie just had it all. It had action, it had thinking, it had philosophical ideas being challenged, and it really just, I know, it just had me interested. I remember being very captivated. In fact, I need to watch this movie again because it was so good. One of my favorite scenes, I can remember this very clearly, is when Iron Man has like the thing that he makes, like it's like the hand, like out the watch, it makes the suit of his hand, and then he blocks a bullet. I remember seeing that in the trailer, I was like, that's tough. Honestly, the fact that the villain was like Zemo, I think was good. I think it was great that they didn't pick too large of a villain, because that would have made us ask questions like, okay, why are they not joining forces to fighting it? But yet it was someone who could, you know, pluck the strings, and like how he was very sophisticated in his own right, going to great lengths to find the activation words for Bucky. It was just like, there was a lot going on. It was great. And I think the best part is the ending fighting scene with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Bucky. That was just like, boom, 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 just hit it, punches. Like, that was just hand-to-hand combat at its finest. Had me lit inside. But anyways, yes, I think that was a great movie for sure. To wrap this up, I am so excited for Captain America Brave New World. I'm excited for Anthony Mackie to really step up and lift the title of Captain America. I think from the trailer, he's going to be doing an excellent job. I was actually super impressed with how well it looked. I have really lost my faith and hope in Marvel, but I know that this might be a return to form, especially off of the hype of Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm so grateful for you guys watching. Please make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I will see you next time.